What's up, everybody? This is Philip Smelser. This is my YouTube page, Fill Up on Sports. This is my first video, so I'll just start out by giving you a little background info on me. Um, I'm from the Lancaster, Ohio area, which is in central Ohio. I grew up a huge Buckeye fan. I'm also fans of the Cavs, Browns, Reds, and Columbus Crew. I went to Fairfield Union High School and coached soccer there combined for 10 years. My wife is in the Air Force, and we currently live in Vacaville, California, but we've also lived in Biloxi, Mississippi, Honolulu, Hawaii, and San Antonio, Texas. But this page will mostly be all sports related, things that are happening daily, and then also I'll do some videos on my favorite teams and also some sports from back home. Um, Mainly Fairfield Union sports, but also other sports in the Lancaster area that usually wouldn't get any kind of coverage other than the local newspaper. So moving on, today the big news is that the Cavs fired David Blatt, which is definitely going to be a topic that people are going to talk about for a while. I am not sure how I feel about it. There were a lot of things about David Blatt that I didn't necessarily like. I didn't care for the rotations a lot of the time, and I thought he stuck with some guys for long periods of time that didn't need to be in there. I also think his job was really tough because he came in without LeBron on the roster. LeBron comes back, it's his first NBA job. I don't think he was at all prepared for how to handle LeBron and everything that comes with him. I, I don't think LeBron is a coach killer or anything like that, but LeBron is very set in his ways, and he has things that he knows are successful, and that's what he wants to do. And the NBA's always been this way. It's not like LeBron's changing things. Guys do this all the time. I'm not crazy about it, but it's just the way it is. But as far as David Blatt, I mean, he was 83 and 40 in his 2 years. He was 30 and 11 on the year. He was very successful. I mean, you can't. It's Cleveland sports. When you're that successful, you're doing something right. So it just seems like bad timing. But it also probably David Griffin wanted to wait after the Golden State blowout to see how the team responded, and it sounds like body language wise in the locker room and how they responded to like Blatt after that game just wasn't very good. So they thought now was the best decision, and now was the best time. Um, as far as them saying LeBron had nothing to do with it and he didn't know it was going to happen, I think we all understand that that's not the truth. LeBron knows everything that's going on in that organization. Someone on Twitter joked that you need a pass to go to the bathroom. That's how in tune with the organization that he is. So LeBron definitely knew. He definitely probably had been asked his opinion, or he was just giving his opinion. And while I don't think that's a great thing, like I said earlier, it happens. It's always happened. And you probably do want your star players' advice, and you probably do want your star player to be happy. And he came back to Cleveland to try to win you a championship. So you're pretty much going to do whatever it takes to make that happen. Um, as far as Tyronn Lue, I mean, this will be his first time being a head coach. He's been the defensive guy there, which I thought was interesting since they gave up so many points to Golden State the other night, and they're terrible in the pick and roll on defense. But I'm not going to blame him for those things fully because I don't know that he was given full responsibility of that, or if David Blatt was doing the game plans and saying how they're going to defend pick and rolls and whatnot. So I don't really think it's fair to completely blame Lue for those things, but I do think it's interesting going forward to see how they change, how they defend the pick and roll, or how they go under screens or over screens, how they do their switching, because it seems like late in game situations they love to switch, and it ends up almost always with like Tristan Thompson or Kevin Love on a smaller man who is able to beat them, and then you're counting on the help being there. So I think it's interesting. These probably next, I'd say like 2 weeks to see how they play. I'm also interested to see if they go, if they move the ball more. They just haven't moved the ball. When they did, they were unstoppable, but they just don't do it enough. There's a lot of ISO ball, which is pretty normal in the NBA. But a lot of times they would get leads. If you go back to the finals, and granted they were hurt, and LeBron had to carry him on his back because no one else was playing that well. But what happened in the finals happens all the time in Cleveland with LeBron. He stands out towards the half court line and dribbles the ball until there's 8 or 9 seconds left, and then they try to create offense. The Cavs have so many good players, there's no reason that should ever happen. It's just pointless. Run the offense, get guys shots, get guys in a rhythm so that late in the game, when LeBron goes to that mode, those guys are already in a rhythm. They're not cold. So what Lou does offensively and defensively these next few weeks will probably tell us a lot. Be really interesting Saturday against the Bulls to see how the Cavs come out and play. Do they play with a chip on their shoulder, like they know they have to prove that wanting Lou was the right decision? So I'm really, really interested to see how they play Saturday, and just to see the energy, the body language, all those little things that go into a game that actually do mean something. Going forward, I think that for sure they got to get Kevin Love involved more and figure out how to use him the right way. It seems like his best games are when he starts in the post, gets some touches, gets a little hook going, and then moves himself out. I don't think he can just sit in the paint and get touches all the time, because the Cavs have so many guys that drive the basketball. You can't completely fill the lane, because Mozgov or Tristan's going to be there, because neither of them are really looking to shoot outside, even though Mozgov does have a decent mid-range game. But I think if you start Love inside, bring him out, get him around the free throw line to get easy shots there, put him in the pick and roll even more than they already do, and they have to find a way to get Kyrie and Love to play well together, sort of like Delly and Tristan do. Tristan and Delly have a great connection and have really good chemistry, and I don't think Love and Kyrie really have that, and most of that's probably because Kyrie's more of a shoot-first point guard, so there's a reason for that. But I do think that Kyrie, he demands so much attention off the pick and roll. If you could get him and Love out there, Love's going to be open, and if Love's not, somebody else probably is. I mean, other guys have to crash to Kyrie because he's going to the hole so often. So I'm interested to see what Lou does with Love and how he figures out how to use him better. It's hard to say Love's been bad. He's not great defensively, which was never a secret. I think he's better, but he still has these lapses where it doesn't even look like he tries, and that's the biggest thing that will drive Cavs fans crazy. It's just that sometimes it doesn't seem like he's even engaged in it, jogging down the floor, that kind of thing. But maybe if things change and he's used the way that he probably feels he should be, then maybe we'll see a completely different player. It just seems odd that we're doing this in January when we're just almost to the All-Star break. We're halfway through the season, and you just got killed by the team that beat you in the finals. So I don't know. This is going to be crazy. I think it's going to be a wild couple weeks probably, and see how they settle in with Lou and see if they can really turn things around. Even though they're 30-11 and in first place in the East, it's not like last year where they were struggling and went on that West Coast trip where LeBron sat out and then they came back and they kind of took off. So it'll be really interesting to see, if things, maybe they go on a run or something, or maybe they take a couple losses and, we get to find out what guys really think or how they're really going to play with this different system. Going forward, I think it's safe to assume some trades are going to happen. I don't think there's going to be anything major. They do have the Brendan Haywood traded players exception, which they could use. They have to use it by, I believe, August. I might not be right on that, but they have the offseason to use it as well. So there are some players out there they could probably get. Not sure what's really going to be available. There's buyout clauses. Guys might accept buyouts and then can play for the Cavs for the league minimum, that kind of thing. So there's a lot of options out there, but no one really knows what's going to happen. But last year, Griffin proved that when the team needed it, he was able to go out and get some great deals and some great players and give up hardly anything. So really, I don't think we're in any panic mode here on how we're going to get back to the championship or maybe win it. I think Griffin's the right guy to figure it out. And we still have the best player in the world on our team. And I think the Cavs will be fine. But they definitely have some things to figure out. And I think they really just need to play harder, play together, move the ball, and they're going to be fine. They just can't go through these inconsistencies of how they've been playing, where they had 2 games straight where they score 120 points, and then they score in the 80s. They've got to find some consistency. They've got to be better on defense early in games, and really, they're still a team that's improving, and now, just as you think everything's set in stone, they make this huge change, and so we'll see what happens. Hopefully, it's for the better. I feel bad for Blatt. I hope he finds a job somewhere else. And I'd really love to hear him be honest and forthcoming about things in the locker room or that kind of thing. But I think we all know that's not going to happen because you just can't do that in this day and age where everything's on social media and everything's pushed out there. And the coach is always going to get the backlash from that. And he's got to look out for himself, his family, with job opportunities in the future. So be interested to see if maybe an NBA team brings him in or if he goes back to Europe. I think that's going to be interesting to see. But I think he was a good coach. I think he did a lot of good things. I think there were things that obviously didn't go well. And, it's a business, so this is the way it goes. So that's it for today. Appreciate you watching, clicking the video and checking it out. I was a little bit nervous, so hopefully it gets better in the future. But I will talk to you guys later.